Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the Branch Director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Got Jolene Campbell against Kayla Skrlik. Sam, you and I have worked a number of games together. I'll be honest with you, with the numbers I've worked this weekend and with the number of different people that I've worked with, I can't remember which games we've worked together. I've had a chance to see Skrlik once before. Have you seen either of these two teams yet?
I have not seen either of these two teams yet.
Okay. The Skrlik team has played shorthanded all weekend and managed to qualify that way, so they'll continue on playing with three.
It's an advantage to play with three players all the way until your sweepers start to get tired. And they've played quite a few games already this weekend, so one rock at a time for sure is all they're thinking about.
The women's division had 25 teams, so they played in round-robin pools, 5 pools of 5 teams. You had 4 games in your preliminary round. The top 6 overall made the playoffs directly. 7, 8, 9, and 10 played for the last 2 spots last night. Jolene Campbell went through the preliminary round with a record of 4-0, so she, I believe, was the higher-seeded team here, and I didn't have a chance to see the practice myself, so I think she had last rock by virtue of that higher seed.
Yes, I believe that's right.
Looking for the hit and roll behind cover there. It rolls out past the guard.
Yeah, that's the hard part with 3 players and only 1 sweeper. You ask your sweeper to switch, they're pretty hard to switch back after you carve it too hard.
I have 2 teams on the women's side that were doing it all weekend long that I saw. And the game that I covered with Kayla Skrlik, she was playing against Robin Silvernagel. There was only 6 players on the sheet, 3 on each side, and you had to feel sorry for the brushers. It's in a lot of cases with the new sweeping methods, you only have 1 brush down anyway. But if you have 1 brusher coming on either side, when you have to switch, you don't have to switch the footwork around.
Yeah, I think it goes to show you how important sweeping is in our sport, and how important it is to have 2 sweepers ready to sweep your rock to make your shot perfect.
Well, and an extra difficulty, if you want to put it that way, for the Skrlik team, in that lead Ashton Skrlik, when she switches sides, she likes to switch her hand position. So she has to switch not just the footwork around. You'll see her switch the broom.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Skip stones here in the first end. Skrlik still looking for the hit and roll behind cover, hoping to perhaps get a chance for the force. And there you see Ashton has to switch sides. She switches the broom position as well, likes to have the outside hand down regardless of which side she's sweeping from.
Yeah, I wanted to make the roll. Looks like she was a little heavy on the weight, as at least that's what the vice expected that rock to curl longer than, but it just didn't come up.
Jolene Campbell, I've known Jolene for a long time. She was the first, played in the first game that I ever broadcast from provincials here in Saskatchewan back in 2012. All the games I've called for her, she was already married, so it's always been Jolene Campbell, and it's kind of a running gag between her and I. I have lost count of how many times I've called her by her maiden name on the air.
That's funny. They're having a great run here, this event. This is a new team this year, and seems like things are coming together just before playdowns for Team Campbell.
New team, but a couple of combinations, really.
Yeah.
Erickson and Jolene have played together for a couple of years previous to that with Chelsea Carey, playing out of Saskatchewan. Abby Ackland and Sarah Oliver had been playing together. I forget the full lineup on that, but I was calling some games from Swift Current last year as well, and if memory serves, they lost the final last year with the team they had then.
Yeah, they must like this building.
Makes it easier to get them to come back when you keep having good results.
Yeah, for sure.
Final stone for Kayla Skrlik here in the first end. A chance to roll behind cover, still get the force. It's a little bit of a roll, but stays out in the open. So Jolene Campbell will make her way down and look for the blank here in this opening end of play.
Yeah, mission accomplished for Team Campbell early if this is made. Earlier in the end, there was a center guard with a couple yellow rocks buried, and they made a couple great runbacks to get out of this end.
Final stone on its way here from Jolene Campbell. Made the out-turn hit to stay on her first one, throwing a little bit more weight here, looking to roll out for the blank. Makes it easily, no score after one end of play here from Swift Current. It's the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown Women's Quarterfinals. Second end action right after this.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good, and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans. people say, you know, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Well, this second inning was brought into the top of the eighth. In the card you see just coming to us. Kayla Skrlik calling for the guard on shot Stone. This is the lead, Ashton Skrlik. Second on the team is Jerry Lynn Ramsey. The normal third, Brittany Fan, are not through this week. In the house, Kayla Skrlik. Calgary. That one sweeper has to switch sides. It looks so much easier when they don't have to switch the broom around too. Ashton Skrlik is full kudos to her in that she can sweep with that same hand down. A lot of us never learned how to switch our hands around. She's very good at it.
Yeah, she makes it look very easy.
I just don't know that you'd want to switch sides a lot of times. This is one where Jolene Campbell might like to play the tick. They have to decide whether or not that stone is touching the center line or not. When we get to senior curling and you get into a situation like this, you're always looking for somebody with younger eyes. There's no old eyes out there, so somebody should be able to figure out whether it's touching or not.
Yeah, it needs to be an agreement by both teams whether it's touching or not, because I mean, like the new rule is, if you knock that yellow off the center line, the rock can be put back and the red rock would be removed. So it's important to know for Team Campbell.
Looks like they must have decided it's touching, because if she was going to play to the corner anyway, it really didn't need to spend that much time looking at it. So lead Sarah Oliver being asked to come around the corner guard she threw on her first. Second on this team, the brush down, is Rachel Erickson. Abby Ackland is the third, Jolene Campbell. The skip. I'm not even going to talk about her maiden name. We'll wait and see how many heads it takes before I call her by that. And if I do, I'm sure I'll be getting a text from her after the game. She always seems to hear about it. That's the worst part. Skrlik sitting one behind cover, top of the 8 foot. That's stone that just came around the corner guard, well buried. Hard to go after for Skrlik. So gonna bring another one into the middle. This is the 5th rock of the end, so after this one, no more free guard zone. And you might see both teams willing to take 2 chances to get rid of rocks in the rings when they don't have to be as scared of accidentally moving a guard.
Yeah, with that center guard being a little bit higher up in the guard zone, it's important to get another yellow in there. Obviously, they'd like to be second shot, but this yellow rock in the 12-foot can almost act as another center guard.
Came a little bit out the other side on the guard. So a chance for Rachel Erickson to make a play on it. Don't know that they necessarily care if they get the yellow one out, but just playing just almost like a draw weight split. Try to chip off it, get it out from behind cover, get your shooter over in behind the corner again. On the brush right away on this. Going to get fairly close to the nose on this. Taps both yellows. We'll remove one from play. We'll get the second one about half out into the open as well.
Yeah, just with that guard being a little bit higher up in the free guard zone, it makes those hack and board waiters very much in play, which can be scary for Team Skrlik if they're not sitting 1-2 by the end of Skip Rocks.
I think the hit stays right there. So it is Skrlik for now sitting 1. Second shot, the redstone behind the corner guard belonging to Campbell.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the roll. I do like Jolene Campbell changed her call. That yellow in the top 12 is more of your problem rock. It's in a great spot. We call it the control zone, and that's why I like playing the double and roll under the corner. Even if you nose your red, you're leaving it in if you nose that yellow in the top 12, you leave it in a really good spot.
Hoping to hit and roll towards the corner here. This is going to have to curl, though. Just catches the edge of that yellow stone, enough to push it across the other side of the guard. Continues to be Campbell sitting 1. Or pardon me, Campbell sitting second shot, the redstone behind the corner guard. Skrlik sitting 1. The yellow that got pushed across, still third shot. Both yellows exposed. Jerry Lynn Ramsey going to look to come around. Right around everything, I think. She wants to come behind the shot stone. Got to find a spot here where they can sit 2 and not leave a double.
This needs to be second shot.
It's not going to be, but it might have filled up enough that she can't get between the 2 yellows to get at shot rock. She can probably play some kind of a double on the first 2, but the one that was just thrown, does it not come towards the red? It's going to be close to it. That's the problem for Jolene Campbell. She's looking at what can we do with this. The easiest one to hit is the one that is actually fourth shot. She can come off it and move the stone that was just delivered. Sit in front of shot rock. Abby Aston makes her way down to take a look at the situation. That might be their best option. Hit fourth shot rock, come across, nudge that yellow over a little bit, leave your shooter right in front of shot rock. You might have a double left on the 2 yellows. You've got the short little promotion available on your own. You've got 2 shots.
Yeah.
Can't take both of them away.
Yeah, the thin double's a pretty good make as long as you don't hit it too thick. If you hit the 1 yellow too thick, you'll promote the other yellow into being sitting second shot and might even promote it towards your red one if you hit it.
That's what I think. I think if you go after the double, because you can't see the third shot the one was just thrown, is dead buried. She can't hit it first. She's got to hit the other one first. And I think when you do that, you're going to push the yellow towards the red corner. So it's safer to just try to hit the first one a little thick, nudge the second one out in the open, leave yourself a double on the 2 yellows, and leave your shooter in a good spot. You turn around and say, okay, what would you like to do in this opposition? It's going to be a little too thick on the first one, though. Doesn't get any kind of a roll.
Yeah, leaves Team Skrlik in an interesting situation. Their yellow, that shot rock, isn't very safe. If you decide to play the draw, you could leave a red double, a red to yellow double, and then all of a sudden Team Campbell could be sitting 2. I don't mind the freeze here. Do you like the freeze on the red one, Sean? Oh, looks like they're not playing it.
It's an option, but it's certainly when you don't have last rock, your instinct is to want to try to go around the middle.
Yeah, it's no fun playing around a corner, even though it's Vice's last. Bringing that corner guard into play is just going to give Team Campbell an advantage.
Probably the shot Jolene Campbell would like her to play. There is still, with the overlap situation at the top of the house, if she can get to the 4-foot here, those 2 rocks can act as a guard. Now, she does have to be a little careful with the lineup. The stone that was just delivered, the red, is available to be angled into the yellow shot stone. So you'd hate to put this in a spot where that angle in would double the 2 yellows.
Yeah, you almost want to put this in the back 4-foot so that angle isn't there.
Yeah. Ashton Skrlik on the brush really has to go to get by the one at the top of the 12-foot. He'll rub off of it. Now important to get it behind shot stone enough so that they don't leave the double off this stone.
I think they just were able to do that.
With the rub, they moved that yellow stone at the top a little bit, but it's still 4th. So Skrlik sitting the 2 stones in the 8-foot. Third shot still the Campbell stone on the edge of the 12.
Yeah, Team Campbell playing the hit and roll behind those staggered yellows. You might even be able to nudge that top yellow in the top 8-foot over a little bit too.
That rock running quite straight on them. Makes the hit, but rolls to the outside.
Yeah, not sure why they weren't curling that. Try to get it to stop second and third shot. This is interesting to switch to the freeze now after you've already watched a draw to the button. You kind of know the path. It's interesting to switch strategies.
Maybe a little scary to keep grouping your own stones when there's red starting to pile up around the outside edge. It's the only reason for it that I can see.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of course, the other thing here, if you want to put some extra pressure on Jolene Campbell in the first end, pardon me, second end, if she can come down, sit on the corner of that red and nudge it back, it would take 2-3 inches. You could actually make her look at 3.
Yeah, the thing is, if this is made perfectly, you're giving Team Campbell either a freeze around their corner guard or a draw. She'll beat you to the draw to the top of the button.
Forcing her to play it, really.
Yeah. I think Sweeper is calling it heavy out of her hand.
Sweeping for all the curls she can get. If they can nudge that, at least they'd be sitting 2 at the top, but it's going to go right by everything and out the back. Now, if you're Kayla Skrlik, you're very happy that you've got that one long guard, because otherwise it would be a nose hit double to sit 4.
So yeah, still an opportunity for Team Campbell. If they can hit and roll, they're going to be sitting 2, and they're both reds are going to be splitting the house here. She wants to hit about half of that red rock, maybe a little bit thicker. But I don't think you need to throw a ton of weight. Enough to make the hit, anyways.
Yeah, if you hit this just right, you could catch the stone in the 12-foot, very thin, and still get the shot rock. So she could be, she's going to leave the shooter. She could be sitting 3 after this. If she's looking at that, and they did indicate that I would like to poke the yellow at least out into the open.
Yeah.
She's going to want to throw like a controlled and normal weight anyway.
To make that super thin double, you have to throw pretty heavy weight, and then you're losing. You could very well lose both 2 reds and only get 1 yellow out of the rings. So.
Jolene Campbell, if this one overthrows just a little bit, she misses the one on the top 12, but she could still stuff it on the shot rock and end up sitting 2 out of this. She's got a couple of ways this can work out very nicely for her. Got the brush on right away, though. Has to stay on the outside to get any piece of the shot rock. Will clip it, but brings it over towards her own. And touches the stone at the side of the 8-foot, and
yeah, that's close.
I think Campbell is still shot rock. The side of the 8.
Yeah, just hit that top red a little too thick. I probably would have liked a little bit less weight, and obviously try to hit it in the right spot, so you ended up sitting 2 after that shot, but gives Team Skrlik the exact same shot to get the force in the second end here.
Second shot, stone yellow at the top of the 12-foot is still dead buried behind the long center guard. So even if she nudges this back, she's not going to be able to play any kind of a double. But she's got better weight on this one. They're sweeping for line. She's got to stay on the center line side of this rock to be shot. Maybe took off a little too much weight. Going to come up short of the rings.
Yeah. Gives Team Campbell an opportunity for a shot for 3.
If you can't see the rock, they're going to look at it. Could just play the draw for 2 if you think you're shot.
It's pretty tough to score 3.
They're going to look at it now too. Think maybe we should just look. I think we're already sitting shot, Skipper. Draw for 2.
Does look like red, so if you know your first shot for sure, then you have to draw for 2. But it would have been if yellow was shot rock, if Skrlik was shot rock, it would have definitely been a good opportunity to play and in off for 3. But take your free deuce when you get them.
I think the only in off she's really got, she'd have to play the corner guard that's out in front of the broom. It looks easy to play the one that's close to the rings there. The problem is that then the yellow is going towards the 2 reds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be a hard shot, but if you weren't shot rock, it'd probably be worth the risk. If only giving up 1 isn't that bad early in the game, but look, they seem to think they're shot rock, so draw to the 8-foot for 2.
One of the little quirks of the draw through the round robin portion of the event. When the teams have their pregame practice, then they have to draw to the button to determine who's got last rock in the opening end of play. And because that draw to the button is so important, most of the practice is geared towards draw to the button. Here in the playoff round, when Hammer is predetermined, they could have thrown a number of different shots. Don't know if she's had a chance to throw to the draw to the middle yet.
Yeah, she's been on the ice all weekend long. I imagine. And a pick. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Rusher stayed with it. It changed turns. They could have had line to the house, but it took too much of the steam out of it. Comes up short. Looks like both teams in agreement it was a single point for Jolene Campbell. So unfortunate pick, but she does pick up the single point. Campbell takes the 1-0 lead. Kayla Skrlik will have last drop when we come back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Well, an unfortunate pick for Jolene Campbell trying to draw for two with her flying stone in number two. And as we come back from the break, looks like they had another unfortunate break on the first stone here in this third end. As you see it sitting in the back corner, I'm sure it was an attempt at the center guard. I don't know whether it picked again. I would assume she would hog it. You wouldn't think that a guard attempt should be through the house.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Joanne got rid of that rock and gave it to her lead, and then it may have picked again. Could be something under that rock that they're just not seeing when they're cleaning the rock.
Typically, when you get one rock that's prone to picking, it's not even something that's under the rock. It's usually not even something necessarily you can see with the naked eye, but there might be a little hit or a mark in the running surface somewhere. And every once in a while, it would just grab a little too hard. Possibility. Makes the second center guard. Now Ashley Skrlik, a chance to come around the corner. She threw on her first one. Jolene Ramsey back and forth a couple of times as to whether she was trying to make that rock curl or not. Never did lift the brush. She knew she had to go for weight and ends up rubbing the corner guard. Even with the rub, it's such a thin rub, she stays partly in behind it, looks for a second corner.
Yeah, it's not a bad result because the first corner guard was so high and this ice curls so much that Team Campbell would have been able to make a lot of hacker board waiters around it. So not a bad tolerance to have, throwing the tighter corner.
Campbell team now looking to come around the center guard, brings it in full 12 foot. It is buried. That was the fifth rock of the end, though. So the opportunity now to make a play on the guard. One thing about when you have to play short-handed like this, say this slightly tongue-in-cheek, the Leafs probably get real excited. They don't get the chance to play doubles very often as a rule. When you're throwing 3 rocks in, you get to throw the up weight every once in a while.
Yeah, not often for a lead, and you definitely a shot you don't practice a ton, but you do still practice it for situations like this when a player's injured and all of a sudden you got to throw a run back or appeal for your team in an important game.
Over curls a little on that one. They were looking to maybe bring it back, catch the stone in the rings. Peels the center guard. Jolene Campbell now looking for Rachel Erickson to peel a corner that's a little bit more dangerous for her. And I think this was a little outside the target line. Just getting back to the broom there as it goes through the house.
Definitely advantage Team Skrlik in this end now. Only guards in play are those 2 corner guards. If this hit and roll is made, they're going to be looking. They're going to be in a good spot to score 2.
Scramble time for Team Campbell. Might have a decision to make. You go after the guards and try to hit your way out of this end, or you have to come around it. I guess you can decide that. It depends just how well buried this rock is. It's going to have to throw a lot just to get over there, though.
What a fantastic shot.
Yeah, that moved well from the hog line in with that last little bit of curl.
No hesitation from Jolene Campbell.
Yeah, left that stone in a spot where I think she can see enough of the tight yellow guard to go across the face of the one in the 12 foot and get them both.
Yeah, and even if you don't, rolling your shooter to the center and giving yourself a center guard is a great outcome as well.
That's not the outcome they had in mind. Rachel Erickson is certainly a little bit outside on hers. I don't know whether that one was good to the broom or not, but again, runs very straight there. Just touches the edge of the rock, and that actually helps Kayla Skrlik. There's not enough of that yellow stone available now to make a play on the shot stone. She gets the chance to split the rings for now.
Yeah, surprising they're not taking advantage of their corner guards. If you could put this full top 8 buried, you're sitting 2 behind 2 perfect corner guards. You could bring a freeze into play if you end up heavy, but another pick.
That's the problem, is if you bring the freeze into play, and I don't think they want to do it this early. They might have done it later in the end.
Another pick on this ice. I wonder if there's something.
Yeah, you can't blame a rock now.
Stuck in the sheet. Yeah.
I haven't, trying to think back, I think I've only seen 1 pick prior to this game all week.
Yeah, so last night I had the opportunity to commentate over Mike McEwen versus Nicholas Adine, and they were cleaning the sheet constantly. They either saw something in the sheet or not. They took 30 seconds between skip stones sometimes to clean the sheet. They thought that something was in it. And as a thrower, sometimes that can get in your head like, oh, this better not pick. And sometimes you throw it a little heavy or with a little bit more rotation so it doesn't.
Boy, just getting by the guard, and with getting by as tight as they did, still not able to hit that thick enough to move the shot stone. Let's get the guard out of the way so they'll have a chance at shot stone on the next one.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot and a good rebound for Abby.
You got me wondering now, Sam. Of course, an advantage with this technology is that you do not have to be in Swift Current to call these games, to bring them to you. So I haven't looked at the weather forecast in Swift Current, but if they've started having or worrying about picks last night, you just wonder if they had some weather in Swift Current, if there's been some rain, is there some mud outside where you have to worry about dirt getting brought into the building.
Yeah, very well could be. Could be because we know the ice has been fantastic all weekend long. And shout out to the ice techs. We're doing an incredible job. And that's something you're starting to see in curling, and especially at the top level, is sweepers starting to carve rocks to slow it down. That's what we just witnessed Ashton doing. There's a theory behind if you start to slow carve a rock, it makes the rock curl more and it makes the rock slow down a little bit. And maybe it worked for Ashton there. It kept that yellow rock in the rings.
For Jolene Campbell, they did open up the shot stone on the last attempt so she could see enough of it to make a play on it. Might even be able to roll in behind her own red. She's a little thin on it. She can come all the way to the back, the one that was just delivered. She's got a few options here. She'd like to make the short roll in behind her own red guard just to put off the center line. With one shot here, really flipped the direction of this end. Has been looking at possibly giving up 2 all end long. This is going to have to curl again, though. Clips it fairly thin. Doesn't have the line to get to the back one.
Oh, that was close. Not the shot they called, but they almost made the thin double.
So one more opportunity for the Skrlik team to get something around cover. Probably doesn't have to make this one perfect either. If you're even half around, does Jolene Campbell not hit the open one and just make sure she doesn't give you 3?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably have to. I mean, if you're Team Campbell, you're on even ends. Giving up 2 isn't the worst thing in the world. You're only going to be down 1 width in the 4th, so definitely tempting to hit the open one.
You've had 2 picks already, 1 last end, but 1 already this end and 2 complete flashes this end. Giving up 2 might not seem too bad.
Big sweep to get this into the rings.
I'm not going to bury it, though. That does give Jolene a chance to go after it and try to get a piece under the guard herself.
Yeah, it could very well get a force here now if you make the hit and roll.
Now, the 3 hit attempts that they've thrown this in that under curled were a little farther over. They were all towards the corner, but they were all with this turn. Don't know if that puts anything into her head here or not. She's got to get across the face if she's going to get under cover. Can't afford to flirt with the guard.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do know, I was told that they did sand the rocks before this event, which makes the rocks have a lot of late curl. But now that there's been a ton of throws with these rocks this weekend, the rocks could be straightening up a little bit, which means maybe not as much finish with the hit weights. So wondering if that's coming into play on this championship Sunday.
It'll be a bit of a factor. That always happens. The rocks will straighten out as the event goes on, but still plenty of curl in these rocks. The difference is it's just one of those things that you have to adjust to. Probably, it's just my own feeling on it, my conjecture, it's probably been a little bit easier for the women because playing a round-robin pool, you've been playing all along. So as the Rocks have been straightening out, you're still playing with them. Last night in the quarterfinals for the men's, you saw both of the teams that qualified at the A were eliminated last night. And that's the downside of qualifying out of the A. You sit for a while. When you come back onto the ice, the Rocks have changed a little bit since the last game you played.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a disadvantage. Just didn't quite get enough curl there.
Goes to the open side, so a chance for Kayla Skrlik to make the nose hit. She could pick up her deuce. Same issue, though, for here for Kayla. She needs this to get up to the nose. She doesn't have a lot of room to roll to the outside. If this runs a little straight on her, she could roll out.
And she can't roll to the inside because she'll jam on her yellow. So
true.
Important to just hit this right on the nose for her 2 points.
Actually looking at the red outside the rings too. If she jammed it on that, it might still be, her shooter would probably be shot then, but not sure who would be second.
Yeah, it'd be close. So really important to hit this on the nose.
Well, this one is curling on her. She's going to get across the nose a little bit. We might find out what happens with the jam. Spills a little bit off the jam, and Kayla Skrlik will pick up her deuce here in end number 3. She takes the lead for the first time in this game. Jolene Campbell with last rock again in the 4th.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes, and you have to build your team, and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
First stone of this 4th end brought into the top of the 4-foot. Jolene Campbell in the house asking lead Sarah Oliver to throw the corner guard. Thinking about it during the break, Sam, of course, we've seen a couple of picks already in this game. And if you're worried at all about something on the ice where you've got to keep a rock clean, this could be a further advantage for the Campbell team having 2 sweepers. Because a lot of times when you want to keep one brush down to keep it clean, you have that brusher who's further away, keep their brush down so that they're not influencing the speed at the same time. Well, Kayla Skrlik doesn't have that option. They've only got the one brusher. They're always going to be close to the rock.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Trying to clean a rock, you're still going to be influencing the speed at least a little bit.
That's the thing. When you're playing on ice that maybe has a spot on it or is apparently a little bit dirty, you want to keep a broom down at all times. And with one sweeper switching from side to side, sometimes you just can't have a broom down. So just like right now. So it's definitely a disadvantage for sure. But I'm hoping that we're not going to be seeing any more picks.
And we may well not. I mean, it's that might be the only ones we see, but it's already in the curlers' heads. It's something that
For
they
sure.
will think about now for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was a great sweep to get that even close to the center line. It doesn't quite cover shot rock.
Doesn't touch the center line either. So you saw Jolene Campbell look at 1-2 ends ago where they wanted to decide if it was on the center line or not. It influenced her decision whether she was going to go after shot rock. Now they can come after it knowing that if they tick that guard on the way by, that's still a legal shot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that's why it's so important as leads to get your center guards on the center line. It becomes your most important shot in the game.
Certainly for the Campbell team, the hits seem to be running a little straighter than what they're expecting. It's not the first one that they've been a little offline on the broom side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they make the adjustment. That is like the third or fourth hit that, or more, that has ran straighter on them.
Back, I think they had 4 last end. 1 flash, 1 just barely rubbed the guard, and both of Jolene's a little too much broom side.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to believe that it's not curling, and you got to make the adjustment. It's a little scary because you've seen hack-to-board waiters curl all weekend long, but it's an adjustment they're going to want to make if they want to win this game.
Well, and we should be fair. It's not like they're not curling at all, but if you're throwing a hit and you get an inch less curl than what you expect, you're rolling out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not easy. That's for sure. This draw coming a little bit deep on Team Skrlik.
Saw the tap of the heel, so the universal symbol for hack weight. Rachel Erickson will look to come down. That guard, or that stone was just delivered, the corner of it's probably behind cover. Going to need a little finish past the guard. This one's going to finish a lot. Catches the guard.
And that's what we call just a good tolerance to have. Rachel made the adjustment, and that rock, we did see a little bit of curl. She threw perfect weight and made a good tick. Now you have 2 corner guards, and shot rock is wide open as of right now.
Not the most comfortable of feelings here for Kayla Skrlik either. She's trying to guard shot rock, but it's a rock in the back of the forefoot.
Yeah, not the best feeling because Team Skrlik knows that as soon as Team Campbell makes 1 good hit and roll, and their deuce is in play.
Probably still expecting her to hit at this point too, but you also know that you put too much pressure on her, eventually she's just going to loop one around because her shot stone is at the back of the forefoot instead of the front.
Yeah, opportunity to make that hit and roll that I just talked about, and you can probably make a double as well.
Yeah.
Big shot for Rachel. This could turn the whole end around.
It's going to over curl on them again. Rachel has found a way to get some curl there. She gets both of those to curl. Her shooter stays top of the 12 foot. It is third shot. Moves the yellow out of the 4 foot area at least.
Yeah, just got stuck between 2 different shots there. If they let that curl another 2 centimeters, they would have made the center line double.
Yeah, I'm not sure they were that worried about the center line double. It actually worked out pretty well for them. This is tricky shot for Jolene Ramsey. She's got to pass it between the 2 yellows at the back. And this one's curling. They've got to go plan B, let this curl, and hope it goes over the top of the one at the back 8 foot.
That was a great line call.
Nudged all over the place without it being removed from play.
Yeah. A lot of teams would have jammed their rock there. Great line call by Kayla to be able to curl it and miss over top of the rock in the back 8 foot.
You just wonder, both of these teams, after seeing a few hits run straight, if they tightened up the ice and maybe overcompensated a little bit.
Yeah, as a thrower, you can tend to, like, you see the ice straightening up. All of a sudden, you might be throwing a little bit of a softer release, and now it's curling again. So it can be hard to put the broom down as a skip.
You're right. Seen that? You can get caught both ways. Thrower decides, I better throw this soft. The skip decides, I better give it less ice. And one or the other, you're probably fine, but you do both, and it overcurls a little bit.
Yeah.
Chance now for Abby Akron to come down and play the freeze on what is shot stone, but it's partially protected the top of the 12 foot as well. So doesn't have to make the perfect freeze here. Anywhere on the corner. Kayla Skrlik won't be able to get it out, but this might be a little strong.
It's a fantastic shot.
Locks it right on the corner by herself. Right. Shot like that where you wish you had mics on the players, because I'm just wondering how many of them were talking to that rock asking for it to slow down.
Yeah, that's very true.
Don't bump.
Yeah. Just left at a perfect angle. Team Skrlik can't hit it at all because it will just go to their other yellow in the back 8 foot. So no choice but to play around I'll call it a corner guard in the top 12 and try to make this tap and freeze.
Yeah, got to break that freeze that's already there. Got to stay on top of the red at the same time. That's the tricky part of it. It's if she just wanted to come down and break up the 2 stones, it's easy enough to do that. But if you roll off at all, you leave another opportunity for Jolene Campbell.
Pretty good shot. I do think they lost the line, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure they moved it far enough that the red doesn't still clip the yellow.
All of a sudden, 3 is in play for Team Campbell.
I think the yellow might be shot rock. Doesn't matter at this point in time. Jolene Campbell will look to lock another one on the corner, knowing that as those rocks start to angle or pile together, the angles all favor her. None of the reds would leave. You had the chance to hit a steady weight.
Yeah, important shot for Abby. It is the exact same shot. This is made perfectly. You set up your skipper for a multiple here.
Well, this one's starting to curl. She needs to stay on the corner. Bumps off just a little bit. Ends up moving that red. It's back to corner frozen again, and I think it's Campbell City too.
Yeah, that was a foot too heavy, but there is no double. That red is the red in the back 8 foot is not going anywhere. And pretty hard to eliminate any of the red stones because of that yellow in the back 8 foot on the left side of your screen.
I think if you nose the first one, it probably goes across the top of the yellow. I don't think that's what she's going to play.
No.
Looks like she's trying to get just across the nose. Roll her shooter. Only a couple of inches. She doesn't have very much room to play with. And if she could touch the red on the way by, the back one, the risk she's going to jam it on the side. But she still wants to break up that red-yellow freeze at the back. She's got no way to get that rock out right now.
Yeah, this is a very precise shot. She needs to cross the face by Maybe an inch or less, maybe half an inch. Roll a little bit to the inside and try to be shot rock in the top 4 foot.
Well, that one made a big move. Going to have to go to get by her own stone at the edge of the 8 foot. Not going to get by. Oh, did get by. Catches the red and drives it out, but hits it thin enough that she rolls all the way out of the 4 foot, the edge of the 8. Definitely is the Campbell stone sitting shot now. She did touch that stone in the 8 foot.
Yeah, advantage Jolene Campbell. If she makes this corner freeze, Kayla Skrlik's going to have to make a perfect freeze not to give up 3. And this is what I saw a lot last night with Team McEwen and Team Adine. They were cleaning the path quite a bit. Making sure that an important shot doesn't pick.
Looking around myself, but I don't even see that there's anything that Jolene can lock this on the same corner that Abby Ackland just made twice. I don't know that Kayla even has any angle she could run something in.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is. If this is made perfectly, Kayla Skrlik is in trouble. Rachel Erickson sweeping hard for line.
Overcurled just a little bit, but the nudge not enough to hurt her, I don't think. It does leave maybe a little bit better angle for Kayla Skrlik to get the freeze at the back. The same kind of thing where she won't have to be quite as precise now. She's got the corner, but if she's a little off, if she's an inch or 2 off line, Jolene Campbell probably can't get at it from the other side.
Yeah, you can freeze on both reds. You can freeze on the back red, what she's calling, or you can corner freeze the top. So there is a little bit of tolerance, which for a skip is rare. It's about a foot or 2, but
well, and there's some on the line too. Like
yeah.
Ideally, you freeze right to what you could see of that red stone at the back and work with it. But even if she's only frozen to 2 inches of it, Jolene Campbell can't get it out past the yellow at the back of the 8 foot.
Yeah.
So she's got some room with the line now. Doesn't have much room with the weight, though. This is going to have to be right on the tee line.
Big shot.
This line coming in, she does need a little bit of finish. Can't afford to bump off with that line, and she did.
I think she left a nose hit for 3.
Yeah, you could even be a hair on the outside because the red's just going to jam on the yellow.
Yeah, you don't need to whip it. Doesn't look like she is with that ice.
Just a little bit more overlap. If she doesn't get the bump off, if she just freezes to the corner where she originally touched it, I don't think you can get this yellow out. But she's got room now. Even if she's a little bit on the high side, a little bit on the center line side, it's so thin where it contacts the red, it's gonna leave the 8 foot anyway. The red stone's still not going anywhere. Campbell has had a couple of hits run straight on her. Does need to get close to the nose here. Probably gets away with 3/4. All right. Right out of her hand, they're calling for the sweep to curl. This one comes up nice, makes the hit, does touch her own red stone, but the yellow behind it keeps it from going anywhere. It's 3 points on the board for Jolene Campbell. She'll jump out to a 4-2 lead here after 4 ends of play. Kayla Skrlik with last rock in the 5th.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough?
Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
First stone of this fifth in. Got in to bite the top of the 12-foot. Didn't have the luxury of seeing the call, so I don't know whether they played for the guard or played for it into the rings. One way or the other, it's not a 4-point shot there. You're either looking for it in the 4-foot or you wanted a guard. She ends up getting 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. Kayla Skrlik trailing by 2 here. Ignores it, throws the corner guard anyway. Sarah Oliver now, you have to think by the looks of this, they were probably playing the guard on the first one. So she's asking her to tap this up. She can make the tap. It's essentially the same as if you threw the guard and then came around it. I think the stone you're throwing here will be in the free guard zone.
This looks incredibly close. Just a little bit light. They probably don't love having a little bit of a stagger there.
Especially when it's angled that way. If Kayla Skrlik gets the chance to make a play on shot rock, everything's rolling towards the corner guard. Won't play it yet. You don't want to look at the free guard. Only the 4th stone to the end. Ashton Skrlik threw the corner guard on the first one, looking to come around it now.
Again, they're doing the slow carve to try and make the rock curl, but also try not to add speed to it. That's why they do that. Did leave the shot rock about half open for Rachel to chase.
It's the same spot that 2 ends ago. Campbell team had 4 rocks that in, run very 3 at least, maybe 4 rocks run very straight on them. Had a flash, had one that they just barely made contact. Sweeping for curl again on this one. Now starting to move as it gets inside the hog line.
I really do think it's weight sensitive. I think if you're a little bit heavy, it runs quite a bit straighter. Rachel threw perfect weight there to get enough curl to make the hit and roll.
So Campbell sitting 2 for the time being. Ashton Skrlik has access to shot rock, and I thought the indication here is they're going to try to roll underneath the 2 reds.
Yeah, I mean, you want to roll behind something, obviously, but behind those 2 reds, it makes Team Campbell have to deal with their staggered center guards.
The audible now, they're trying to roll to the corner.
Another great line call. They were trying to go around the center guards, but halfway down noticed it wasn't going to curl enough and went with option B. She's done that. Kayla Skrlik's done that twice now. It's a good eye with the line right now.
I'm just a little surprised that wasn't option A. You've got last rock here and it's your corner guard. Forces Jolene Campbell to play the peel on the guard.
Yeah, it looks like they called the peel. If you make the run back and roll to center, it's a pretty good option as well. That's what they called. Great shot by Rachel Erickson.
Still a good opportunity for Kayla Skrlik. Now, you don't love coming around your opposition center guards, but you can come around here, bury this top of the 8, maybe you can bite the 4-foot. Can Jolene Campbell afford to ignore the open stone? Or if she has to you set up your deuce.
Yeah, it's a little scary because it does seem like it's one shot too early, in my opinion. I feel like you could have thrown another corner guard. I don't think Jolene's going to ignore it and throw around their center guards this early in the end. So now you're just giving Team Campbell an opportunity to make a couple doubles and get out of this end.
Yeah, you certainly didn't want to be this deep. Campbell will definitely make a play on the open stone now, but she could play the hit and roll. If you're a little thin on the first one, you might make the double. Looks like that broom sticking to the out turn. It is the turn they played more commonly down here just in this particular game, but it's also run quite straight on them. But we might see them throw the in here.
I do think she's tightened the ice up a bit. Should be close.
So the first time, my recollection, that they had a chance to hit a rock over there where they didn't have to worry about a guard. How good is that? You make a hit on a stone at the edge of the 8-foot, roll 5 feet, and you're perfectly frozen on a stone at the back 4-foot.
Yeah, that almost guarantees a force this late in the end. And Team Skrlik down to having to throw a double run back now.
Double run back just to try to kill the stone out of the top of the 12-foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuffs it on the 1 and the 12. Does get rid of 2 reds, though.
Yeah, a good shot. It gives Team Skrlik a chance to score here. If Team Campbell decides to play this freeze, it'll be a pretty short run back to try and open up that button.
Can't open up a whole lot of the button. If she makes the freeze here, the redstone that's sitting there now will be sandwiched in between the yellow behind it and the one that's about to be delivered. It's not going anywhere. It's got a corner of the button already.
Yeah, I agree. I think Team Skrlik is going to need to make 3 perfect hits to score 1 or to get out of this end. So, tall task.
Good job by the brushers. Actually, maybe gets the rub on the way by, straightens it out enough that gets close to the shot they were playing initially. Looked like it was going to overcurl.
Yeah, they just hit the back of the rock to straighten it up to make the called shot. Gives Kayla Skrlik no choice but to make the run back here. Or call the run back.
Probably can only kill 2 of them. She wouldn't mind losing her own at the back of the 4-foot as well here if she could. The nice thing for Skrlik, she can save the shooter.
So they made it the opposite way. They left their yellow in the top 12. And, I mean, to be fair for Team Skrlik, they are sitting second and third stones.
It helped things at the back a bit. I had to look. It was hard to see in full speed live action, but it did touch the red at the back of the button, and so it broke those 2 stones up a little bit. You're still dead in line, but you might be able to blast it out somehow now if you had a chance. Jolene Campbell looking to make a play on the stone in the top of the 12-foot. She'll want to roll into the rings. So when she does that, 2 stones in the forefoot will be accessible for Kayla Skrlik, but get a second one into the range, you know you're going to have a chance for the force yet. Kayla can't throw any weight at those ones in the range, or just try to kill the red, without losing her shooter. You might see her play for the nose hit.
Oh, absolutely. That'll be her next call. If this rock from Jolene Campbell overrolls the rocks in the forefoot, which if they want it in the rings, they have to, then you'll see Team Skrlik play the nose hit and try to get their deuce that way.
I don't think there's any way she passes it by the 2 in the forefoot without rolling.
Too far, yeah.
It's just enough of a spin to get into the rings.
Yeah, two options for Team Skrlik. They could hit and nose, be shot rock, which is option A in my opinion. They could also hit and roll under the red. They won't be shot, but they'll be second and buried, and it makes Jolene Campbell have to make a perfect draw to not give up 2.
Opting to play it with quieter weight and maybe not kill the back yellow. I'll be honest, I don't love this call.
It just adds a level of difficulty that doesn't need to happen.
Well, and it opens up possibilities for Jolene Campbell. Even a sliver offline on this, Jolene Campbell will be able to hit the yellow. The red that's going to be behind it still has a rock behind that he could jam onto. So Jolene's got a couple of ways she could still be sitting 2 or 3, and you're still looking at the force. If you hit this right on the nose, and Jolene Campbell has to blast it out, the blank is in play.
Yeah, exactly.
But by not killing the back one, you're probably taking the blank out of the equation.
Big sweep just to touch the red one here. And that's the danger of playing it with that light of weight. You just bring in opportunities for Team Campbell to steal. If Jolene Campbell can make a corner freeze on this yellow, you're going to have to draw the pin against 2.
She doesn't need the corner freeze. She
doesn't even need to corner freeze, yeah.
Bite the top of the button. Sit 2. The back red's not going anywhere.
Yeah, if you put it right on the top left corner of the button is a perfect spot. Team Skrlik can't hit unless they want to only give up 1.
She might have no choice but to draw to what she can see of the button.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Half of it maybe.
Yeah, she'd have to bite the pin to score 1 if this is made perfectly. Team Campbell, knowing this is a big moment in the game, talking to where they want the rock precisely.
Kayla Skrlik a little light on that last attempt, even for what she was calling, because the indication before she left is she was trying to break up the red-yellow, and she's only got just dead draw weight. She wanted out of her hand, probably about another 6 feet away, to swept that all the way to come up a little light.
Yeah, it was a miss. Yeah, we did talk about hitting was probably the better call, but even the call she made was a little light and ended up probably in the worst spot she could have left it, unfortunately, for Kayla Skrlik. Jolene Campbell's last rock in the 5th end.
Leading by 2 and perhaps chance to set up a steal without the benefit of a guard. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. I mean, she could not throw this and still force Team Skrlik. So it's a great situation. This is like putting gravy on your mashed potatoes. It just makes it even better.
One brush down right away, just cleaning.
Yep, looking for this in the top forefoot, biting top button.
Line looks nice coming in. It'll be all up to the brushers now. I think somebody calling just two of it. They had it in their mind that they needed to be right down to the yellow again. I don't think they did need to be right down to the yellow, but does sit two. It's corner frozen. So Kayla Skrlik with her final stone has to pretty much get full button here with her rock, and she only got just barely enough room to do that. She covered the pin. Can't really afford to be heavy on this if she comes off either of those red stones. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, big shot for Team Skrlik.
Maybe a little light here, then Ramsey coming out halfway to help with the brush. Ashton Skrlik running out of gas. It's just Jerry Lynn now, and this is going to be a little bit light. Comes up short to steal a two for Jolene Campbell. She jumps out to a 4-point lead after the fifth end of play. Skrlik will once again have last rock in six.
Imagine being able to stream.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that...
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough?
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on...
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with our...
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nutrien Egg Solutions Western Showdown. My name is Sam Steep, joined by Sean Joyce, and we have a great game going on. A big steal, too, by Team Campbell in the fifth end. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this morning for our women's quarterfinals. Team Skrlik looking to take a few points here with Hammer to bring the game closer and then have a chance to come back. They certainly have had they certainly had a few opportunities earlier in this game.
I was going to suggest that the decisions get a little bit easier now for the Campbell team to bring the first stone into the corner of the forefoot. They wanted to the top house on this one. This one slides to the back 8. That's a rock that might help Kayla Skrlik later on. She drew the corner guard with the first one. Sam, you might have heard me talk about this one of the games we did earlier. I always find it interesting to see how teams want to approach the 2 corner guards. And it looks like the Skrlik team is one of the teams that favors the tight guard, long guard, but play them on the same side of the sheet so that you're not taking away both of your paths to the button.
Yeah, it's certainly a team decision. I've talked about this a few times and a couple of other draws. The stats certainly say that corner guards on the same side of the sheet gives you a better chance of scoring too. Overall, if you throw the corners on opposite sides of the sheet, you can easily give up a steal just because the opposing team can box you out of the center, and then all of a sudden you have to drop in against 2 or 3. It can be scary.
Well, and as much as the button looks like it's open when you've got the house split, the way these rocks move, the late movement especially, a corner guard can actually be blocking your path for a draw to the button. If you take both of them away, even though the middle might look open, you can't get there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Being down 4, you definitely need to be more aggressive. But I'm a big fan of the corner guards on the same side of the sheet. Also a big fan of trying this tick by Team Campbell.
I'm a little surprised to see them play it on the second one.
Yeah, I believe they wanted to. I believe they wanted to tick the tighter corner guard into the ring so they'd be able to hit it. But you're right. I am surprised they tried it on the second.
Play it on the last shot.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. So right idea, just one shot too late in the end, in our opinion, anyways.
But of course, the reason you play that is 5 rock 3 guard zone. You can't hit those stones till after the 5th stone of the end has been delivered. Well, that was the 5th stone, so you're going to be able to hit on the next one regardless. So really, what were you getting by if you tick it into the rings now? You were going to be able to hit it on the next stone anyway. It's just would have made more sense if you wanted to play that shot to play it on the last one.
Yeah, I agree. And Asha makes a pretty good replacement of the high corner guard. Team Campbell has no choice but to try and make the peel. Could also make the double peel if this is hit in a good spot.
You're going to play the peel regardless of which double do you want to play. It looks like they're playing the long one across.
Looks like Team Skrlik has decided to make a freeze tap.
I think she's thinking if you throw another corner guard, you know they're going to try double peels all the way along. And if they ever make one of them, you don't have a lot left to work with. Right now, you got 2 corner guards. You tap this back, maybe create a pocket at the back. So you've got a pocket, 2 corner guards to work with.
Yeah, I agree. I think any rock in play helps Team Skrlik right now.
And this won't leave any kind of doubles either. That's the other thing. You play this, there's nothing really where Jolene Campbell could try to kill 2 yellows. Boy, I thought they might jump the sweep there when they could see that it was going to be that thin. You could have gone by that stone and tried to freeze one at the back 12.
Yeah, I think that's just another example of being a 3-person team. If you have 2 sweepers there, you're going to get by the one in the top 4 foot. Almost always. So just an unfortunate circumstance for Team Skrlik.
Right to the top 12, they were still sweeping for curl, though.
Yeah.
I think it was a little late going to plan B.
Interesting that they decided to nose that. I'm surprised they wanted to keep that in play. Could very well create a pocket now for Team Skrlik fans. That's good news.
The only benefit, I guess, for that for Jolene Campbell, she keep the play away from the corner guards. agree. I'm surprised she didn't try to at least roll over, if not roll out. Doesn't need another rock back there at all.
No, yeah, and like I just said, any rock in play is good for Team Skrlik right now. So, and you never want to give the same shot to the same player twice, because at this level they don't miss it twice in a row. It's pretty well executed.
So looking for big weight here from Abby Ackland. Try to pick this over the top of the redstone back 8 foot. Probably look to clip it on the way by because there is a pocket back there now. Going to have to curl.
Wow.
Picks it clean. But they were sweeping for curl. They weren't looking to pick it clean. They would have liked to break up this pocket.
Yeah, I think they called curl just to touch the rock. That was, to me, it looked like a pretty outward motion on release, and I knew that rock was going to run pretty straight, so pretty happy to touch the Yellowstone. But you're right, they wanted to get rid of at least one of the red ones in the back 8 foot, so there was no pocket. Big sweep from Ashton here to get it to the back red ones.
Lynn, after throwing the rock, jumped up to join her. It's in the pocket, but I think she stopped it trying to be shot rock. It doesn't matter. Jolene Campbell's going to make a play on it.
I think it over curled by an inch, unfortunately. I think you will still be able to, if you can't get the yellow out, at least move both of your reds out and
that's all you can do.
And keep your shot rock in the top 4 foot.
Probably stays in front of the yellow too. Yellow, it'll rattle between the 2 reds, but I really don't think it's going to go very far.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be interesting to see what the line is that's left on the 2 stones after this is finished. If the red-yellow lines up to that back red, that would certainly help Kayla Skrlik. So Jolene Campbell might want to be just a sliver on the center line side when she makes contact. This one's going to have to curl to do that. Makes the hit, rolls the shooter away, but leaves Kayla Skrlik sitting 1.
It's an interesting situation they left themselves in for Team Campbell and for Team Skrlik. It's hard to hit and not leave a double.
Hard to get second shot and not leave a double.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's got to just about bite the 4 foot.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
second shot. You just draw to the corner. Corner
you're not wrong. Yep.
Jolene Campbell's going to have to play the shot rock, and how does she not leave you double?
That's what I was thinking. If you could put it where Kayla just tapped, if you could put it in the top 4 foot, there's no double because it would jam. Jolene will be forced to hit the open one, and you should have an open hit for 2. There really is no option for 3 anymore, so you just want to make sure you have the easiest shot possible for 2.
Yeah, I don't love that spot. Because Jolene will try to hit the back one and roll over in front of her own, and then how do you get it out?
Fair. The only other option I thought was maybe you could just throw the freeze. You could corner freeze your yellow. But
well, yeah, you could. I think I'm corner freezing the one at the back 12 foot behind the corner guard. You don't even have to be frozen to get a piece around the corner guard. Jolene's going to hit the open stone. There is no way she hits that and doesn't leave you a double.
Yeah, Yeah, this could overcurl. Like, as long as this yellow one is at least third shot. That's the most important thing for Kayla here. And for Team Skrlik fans, Ashton needs all your energy to keep sweeping the rest of this game. She's swept a lot of stones. It's a good sweep just to get third shot.
Now the problem for Jolene Campbell becomes, how do we hit this and not leave her a fairly makeable double? You hit and roll in front of the red. She can play the double and play it in such a way that her shooter comes into the catcher on the side of the 12-foot. You certainly can't roll. If you look from the overhead, you can't roll anywhere to the left because that jams on the back one. It might leave the double for 3. She's got to hit nose, or she's playing the intern nose or a little bit on the boom side.
Yeah, I think nose is absolutely perfect. You know, you're playing with a little bit of risk because if you overcurl, you jam and you give up 3. That would be worst case scenario. But if you make the nose, the double would be pretty tough to make the double and score 2.
Yeah, it's thin. She'd have to play a boom side. The only other option I see is if you roll perfectly in front of your own stone at the back of the 8-foot. But that's a tough roll.
Couple options. You could hit and roll perfectly on top of your red one and be a pretty tough double for 2 as well.
On the sweep all the way down. This really curling. Again, if this comes past the nose at all, she deads jams it. Oh, that was close. Wouldn't have had to curl much more to leave the double for 3.
Very close.
Really
Kayla Skrlik did just touch all. She did touch all 3 reds, but I don't think that's there.
It might be. It's tough. You're in danger if you try it, and you could be very close to making it and actually spin out over the top and only get the single.
Yeah, I really don't see it being there. I think you have to play the thin double for 2. I mean, you want it to be there, obviously, because 3's great, gets you right back in the game, but you have to hit.
Well, you look at how high up the rock will be when she makes contact. And then she's coming across the face of the second one, wants to just catch about a quarter of it. It's there. The problem is, though, if you hit the first one a little too thick,
you jam.
Well, you could miss the second one altogether.
Yeah, exactly.
If you hit the first one a little too thin, you hit the second one too thick, and then you go over the top of the third one, you only get 1. This is so tough.
I mean, even the thin double for 2 is tough. I mean, you don't want to throw too much weight because your shot rock could spin out of the rings as well.
That's the difference. You don't have to throw as much weight if you're throwing just for the double.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what they decided.
With that broom, she's throwing some weight.
Yeah, I agree. Big shot for Kayla Skrlik here. Last rock in the 6th end.
Threw some weight, but maybe got that one going a little bit. Actually curled off the nose. Just catches the second zone, so it's a steal of 1 for Jolene Campbell. And well, you might have some illness going around because it's not handshakes, it's elbow bumps. Jolene Campbell will pick up the 7-2 win here over Kayla Skrlik in 6 ends, and that moves Jolene into the semifinals at 12:30 this afternoon. 12:30 we will have semifinal action, both the men's and women's division here from the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Semifinals at 12:30, and finals yet. Later today, all of the action available for you right here on the SaskTel Curling Stadium.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.